What is up, comic fan? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and there's a new comic book day right around the corner. So let's take a look at what's going to be hitting my pull box and some other great titles that are going to be hitting shelves. But before we do that, as always, check this out. So September 8th is right around the corner. New comic book day for those that all your comic books come out on Wednesday. For the rest of y'all, it starts on the 7th, ends on the 8th. And as always, DC's big on my list. So let's take a look at some of these titles that are going to be hitting my pull box, what I'm looking forward to reading, and talk about some of them. So first up on the list, Fear State is here. So Fear State Alpha dropped last week. So we know what's going on. We know what the big plan is with Scarecrow and Simon Saint, that there's this giant social experiment to inject the city with fear so they can come out better on the other side, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to get into that. And be honest with you guys, that hearing that Williamson is going to be picking up the Batman title, I'm already past this. I'm ready to get through it, be done with it, and hope that it's a really, really fresh start for Batman moving forward from here. Just looking at this cover, at all these characters that have just been injected into this book in a short term and not really fleshed out or anything, I'm just ready for the next thing. I'm ready to get past anything connected with Future State. It's been going on too long, and I'm just ready for some fresh Batman. But I am going to be reading it. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. The Scarecrow angle is really cool. I like that he's not using toxins. But yeah, I'm really excited for it just to be over with, though. So next up, we have Batman Catwoman, issue number 7. So we're past the halfway point. So we have Selena might be getting outed as playing like every side of the fence, working with the Joker, doing crime on her own, two-timing with Batman. So it's really starting to see what this book is shaping up to be, a Catwoman story and just why she's just such a terrible person. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Next up, this is the big one for me this week, is Infinite Frontier, issue number 6. So this is the finale. So coming into the whole Infinite Frontier era, we got introduced to this Omega level dark side. So this is the book that they teased him in that first Zero issue right after Future State. And this has been the book where he gets his big reveal and his plan for the multiverse. So if you're not reading this, I'm sure you're going to be missing out on some key foundation storytelling moving forward, because this, I believe, is going to be spanning into a potential like comic-wide event. You know, they have these big summer events and everything, but this has got like huge potential to it. I definitely see it going somewhere directly after this, but it's been awesome. Next up, Nice House on the Lake, issue number 4. So this one's going to be following the comedian. We're promised to get big reveals on the house in this and get to know another resident of the house. So they don't really give too much detail on this, but there's not really much to say either, having read the other 3. It's just mystery on mystery on mystery, which I've been loving. Tynan's killing this book. The way that they're playing out, it's a slow burn where it just adds more and more questions with each issue, and that's been the best part about it. Next up, also from DC, this is going to be issue number 7 of 10 for Ron V's Swamp Thing. So in that last issue, the Suicide Squad has come to the swamp to investigate the Holland phenomenon. We have Heat Wave being snuck up on by Swamp Thing himself, and it looks like Levi might be coming to terms with his powers and kind of just accepting them. So it might be the tipping point for this new avatar of the Green to really come into his own as Swamp Thing, and I'm excited to see where he takes it from there. If you're not reading this, you're missing out on another great DC horror title with a lot of good tie-ins to it. Next up, we have Suicide Squad issue number 7. So the newest recruit that Amanda Waller has brought to the team is none other than Ambush Bug. So guaranteed this issue is about to be a blast. They're going to be tearing down that fourth wall, and it should be laughs from start to finish. I cannot even imagine how crazy this is about to get. He's like the original Deadpool. Like, I honestly feel like when Deadpool got invented, and then years later he kind of came into what he is now, like breaking the fourth wall, being a jokester, and all that stuff. This is really where all that kind of stuff started in comics. But Ambush Bug is really cool. You don't see him that often anymore. When he pops up, it's always a blast. And not only is this issue coming out, but the annual is coming out. And I'm kind of more excited for this. We've been shown and teased that Superboy is an anomaly on the team. He has skeletons in his closet and a lot with his memory that he doesn't know. And we're supposed to be getting those answers of how he's on the Task Force X. Where did this one hero fit into the team? And what's the big secret to his past that he's unaware of? And it might be rewriting the Superboy that we have in this book's origin a little bit, or at least revealing it. Because judging from this cover, it looks like there's a bunch of clones and tanks right there. So maybe this isn't the original Con-El. Then we have even more Suicide Squad. So you can tell that DC was really excited about their movie because they're just dropping Suicide Squad content. But this is the DC Black Label prestige format miniseries Suicide Squad Get Joker. And in that last issue, we saw a team got put together, headed up by Red X, sent out to kill the Joker once and for all. And of course, it didn't work because he's always about 5 steps ahead of your plan. So they got there. Joker wasn't there. He was really already ambushing Amanda Waller, knocked her out, killed her almost. It was what it looked like. But he has the detonator for the team. So after killing one of the team members, and the rest of them are just left standing like, are we next? And that's where it ended. So this issue, Task Force X, Team 2 was supposed to be getting sent out to get rid of Team 1 because they are now a liability. So this book is about to just get absolutely crazy, I'm sure. The artwork is fantastic. This is Brian Israelio. And something Malieve is doing some of the artwork. I don't know if he's just doing the covers, but the interiors are fantastic. And with these prestige format books, there's so much room for the artwork to breathe. It just works out great. And that's it for the DC books for me. So let's look at the Marvel books. Are you ready? There they are. Those are the Marvel books that I'll be picking up this week. They got to do better because I don't have a single Marvel pool on my list this week. But coming from the independent side, we do have the next issue of Mighty Morphin, which is issue number 11. So that last issue was huge, and this covers kind of a spoiler to it, but we pretty much got the origin of Zed, which has never really been told ever. And the way that they did it was amazing. So we have the Rangers heading to Zed's palace to rescue Candace, who's one of the Eltarians, who Zed had kidnapped and said he's going to tell her the secrets of everything in her past. She has no clue that he was an Eltarian, that he worked alongside Zordon. So stuff's about to get insane. There's already been huge announcements from Boom Studios that there's an Eltarian war story coming. All kind of big announcements for Power Ranger stuff. So it looks like the series is potentially going to be taken off like a rocket. It's much needed. It's been kind of slow and flat for a while, but with these reveals that they did, it kind of puts a lot of that into context and really paid off. So it's a good time to be a Power Ranger fan. So that's it. That's on my guaranteed pool list, but that is not it that's hitting shelves. Let's take a look at some other stuff that's going to be dropping this week. So the next issue of Amazing Spider-Man number 73, as well as Daredevil number 34 will be coming out. We've got X-Force issue number 23 and Excalibur issue number 23 also. How about that? War of the Bounty Hunters is coming out with an issue 4, as well as Dr. Aphra issue number 14. And we have Green Lantern issue number 6, as well as that Green Lantern annual for 2021. So I'm thinking about possibly picking up that annual because a lot of these, they kind of just like spot hit around different things. And that'd be a good way of kind of keeping up with kind of loosely what's going on. I did read the Future State stuff and saw where Hal kind of made an appearance at the end of it. But I just haven't really been caring to keep up with the Teen Lantern stuff. Just not my cup of tea. Give me some Alan Scott, some Hal Jordan, some John Stewart, who's over in the Justice League title all over it. So I don't know, just Green Lantern's been flat for me. But we have the Savage Avengers also dropping. It's issue number 24. And Defenders issue number 2. And then we have Shang-Chi issue number 4, which I did see that movie yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't no game changer or anything, but it was a total blast. I had a lot of fun watching it. And then we have Extreme Carnage Toxin number 1. So I'm sure they're pumping a lot of content, getting people ready for that movie coming. And then we have issue 2 of the Me You Love in the Dark, as well as the finale to Eve. I believe that's the finale. Yeah, issue 5. I think that's it. And then we have Black Manta starting a new mini-series. It's going to be a 4-issue limited, and this is issue number 1 right there. And then we have Crush Lobo. I think it's issue number 4 out of 6, maybe. It's a mini as well. And then Not All Robots. Shout out to the Promiscuous Time Travel. He heavily recommended that one, so I wanted to make sure to include this issue 2 in the video for those that might not have heard about it. Go check it out. And then we have The Last Book You'll Ever Read, and that's issue number 2 as well. And then finally, we have a Marvel Tales featuring Kazar, which is typically just reprints of old classic stories. And then the new series, Kazar, Lord of the Savage Land. So I'm considering picking up this one to read it. Kazar is pretty cool. He's no Commandy, but he's still pretty cool. So that's all the ones that I have today to point out and spotlight. That is definitely not all that's hitting shelves. There's a lot more independent and small press stuff coming out. So be sure to double check your shelves and make sure you don't miss anything. And as always, I want to give a shout out to the Augusta Book Exchange. That's my Paul and Donna over there are the absolute best. They're the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is safe and secure. Every week when I get by there, you'll find no better customer service anywhere. You can find them on Facebook, and he did recently fire up an Instagram. Doesn't really have anything uploaded on it yet, but if you want to check out the store stuff, you can find that on Facebook. And then if you want to know what my number one pick for this coming week is going to be, head over to the Comic Vets channel, hit that subscribe button, turn those notification bells on, because every Sunday he drops a video where him and I both give you one book you should consider picking up that coming week and why. So you do not want to miss that. And also, as always, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. is At Week's End, the live show where a new guy in the Comic Vet and I hang out. And this week's going to be a little different. I'm going to do a Shang-Chi hangout. So I've gotten a couple of other buddies in the community that I talked to that have seen the movie. They're going to come on and we're just going to hang out and talk about the movie a little bit and have more loose format to it and just have a good time. So hopefully you can join in the chat. That's it. That's all I got. So until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.